Hi, my name's Doug Ferguson, and I'm just going to share some more about the phonetic script, its history, and I hope you find this interesting. What is the history of words on the written page? How did phonetic script come to be? When, where, why, how, and who brought it into existence? Many have searched, and here I will share some of what I have heard. May this presentation increase your interest and appreciation of phonetic script. You realize without phonetic script, we would not have our society without advancements because of its ability to allow many people to have education and be able to talk and convey ideas throughout history and time. It's amazing. The first phonetic script was discovered in Sinai and Egypt. It was discovered by William Petrie, and a couple of sites he found. There's one in the Sinai. There's a bit al-Harnim. It's a mine. And there's some script I talked about, some script that was found there in my other video. And is Wadi al-Hol. And both of these scripts were considered to be about 1800 BC. They found these. So I'll talk about that later. Professor Douglas and Petrovich developed this chart to assist in understanding phonetic script, and here we'll have a look here. Here's the chart he developed here, and you can see he's using Hebrew as the language for it. So we have Hebrew letters, 22 Hebrew letters here, and then we have some projected Proto-Hebrew original letters. Okay, projected, I mean, it's, kind of figured out, maybe these would be. Okay, then you have Middle Egyptian hieroglyphics examples in here. Somebody made out these ones. They're similar to these. Then we have original Hebrew alphabetic names and in here, and they also have a number too. I forget. They have a number. This number here, it's cattle, and if you take the letters, it makes the number 477. But we won't worry about that because the letters of the alphabet, the gematria of the alphabet has numbers in it. So, this letter here is an aleph, and it represents the ox or cattle. Bet represents a house, and Gimel represents a camel, or basically a camel. It's got bend in here, anyway. Or it could be prostrated, bent. And Dalet represents a door. And Hey represents reveal or praise. And so forth. It goes on down here. Like Tav is the last one. It represents covenant, or it says male goat, but it represents a covenant, which is interesting. Anyway, male goat. Okay, this word he has, tayad, or I think taya. It's hard for me to even read that there, but anyway. So that's with some letters with their meanings that he put up here, and then it has Hebrew consonants of Middle Kingdom. This is between 1842 and 1760. So this is the letters that you see from that time date in Egypt. And over here we see actual letters. I think this is a copy from the wall, or maybe even taken from a wall of in Wadi Al-Hol was a fort there, and it's taken from there. I think it shows it here. I think it's, I can't really see it here, but I think it's well, it's very recent actually, only probably 20 years old that they kind of brought it into the thing. And you can see all the different characters here, and these characters should be similar to the Hebrew consonants of the Middle Kingdom, which is the 5th column from the left. And you should be able to see some characters, like the top one, Aleph. You can see an Aleph here. And here looks like a Pei, which is mouth, which, let's see if it's got it down here. Here it is down here, Pei. It's, not sure what letter it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, well, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17th letter is a Pei. And it's mouth, you can see with the lips, the mouth. And here is, could be Mem. Looks kind of like waves, wavy water, could be Mem. And you can see down here, a Mem is, over here, you can see it, it's just after, here's a Lamed there. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but there's a Lamed, and then there's Mem. And L-M. They've been in their own alphabet, and you can see the different characters here. Looks like the squiggly line. And then you have this double squiggle lines together like that. And it shows down here where that is. It's a weird letter. Let's see where I can find it here. I've never seen it somewhere. Oh, here it is. It's it's a hey, het, and I'm not sure what it. Oh, it's supposed to be like thread, so it's kind of like thread, het. So that's a het letter, you know. So you got all these different letters. Here's another hey. You can see that in the picture here. You can take a look here. You can see some of the letters. He's got them here. You can kind of. Now the problem here too is that here's a rish, and well, I don't know what that is. Just a sec here. It could be a Lamed. Could be. Or that could be. The next one could be a Lamed. And it could be something else. I mean, it could really. So it is tough sometimes to figure out exactly. This might be a noon. Noon. Now, usually when the letters kind of lean towards this way, that usually means that you read it from left to right on here. Because if the letters kind of lean towards, yeah, like this Aleph here. I think if it leans this way, that means you read into the face. So it should be from left to right here. So you should be able to figure out the letters from left to right. And if you knew enough of the Hebrew, you could break it up into roots, and you'd actually be able to tell when one word stops and one word begins. Which, I don't know enough Hebrew to do that, but that's how you could do it. You find the roots. There's usually 3 letters in a roots in a word, and you can figure out the way. Well, it looks like it goes from left to right in this example because of the head's facing there, so you always go into the head. And like this one here is kind of like this is the head of it here, and it's kind of facing that way. And you can see this one here is kind of facing that way. It's hard to actually see for a rish which way this head's facing. But anyway, and anyway, this guy looks like he's kicking off, but that's supposed to be a hey. But it's the kickoff. But anyway. So that's kind of fun. You can see, and this is 1800 years ago. I mean, 1800 BC. That's 3,800 years ago. So maybe 3,900 years ago now, or something like that. So So here we go, and then we have this. This is a stele, where and it's right here. It's called Meron Path. I think that's how you call it, Meron Path. It's found in Thebes, and this is another thing another writing that Petrie found. The man was amazing. In 1905, he was finding these things all over the place. And here, I'm not sure what pharaoh it is, but this is dated to around 1200 BC. So, right down here on the second last line, I don't know where that is on here. Apparently they got this all copied off of here, which is amazing. I think that might be a copy of the copy that they stuck in. They actually brought the original back, or I'm not really sure. But anyway, this is the copy. They actually had writing on it, and they could read it. And here it is here. And right down in the second letter, about halfway in the word from this is a mirror, so it's reading on this point, and it's reading this way. Usually what happens if for reading down these, they kind of do a zigzag, like it may start like from the left to the right, and then you get to the end, and then you go from the right to the left, and then the left to the right, and right to the left, and left to the right. Sometimes they did that. Now I don't know if they did that here, but Egyptians, for a lot of their writing, that's what they did. They go from right to left, and then left to right, and they didn't have to worry about it too much because they weren't reading the words per se. They were though maybe they kind of were, because here, so they might have, on this one, they might have gone from, well, in this, because it's a mirror, it's left to right, but in the original it would be right to left, because this is a mirror image. But anyway, so from left to right, you have these two little things here. We'll have a look here. Here is the word here, and it's left to right from the mirror image, and you can see this is apparently supposed to sound like Israel somehow up to here, and then the people, so it's Israel, the people, and then it starts laid waste, well, with the negative here, so they're laid waste, and their seed is no more. So basically that's what it says here, and then it has up here where it says, there's some other stuff before that. Carried off is, I'm having a hard time reading myself, Ashketan. Seized upon is Gaza. Oh man, I can't hardly read that. Is made non-existent. Israel is laid waste, its seed is no more, which is what I just said, what basically this translation of that. And all lands together are pacified. Everyone who was restless has been bound. So, and here's another. This is basically a scarab. It was on a wall, and if you look at it, you can see that it kind of starts at the bottom and goes up. The way, or they just jammed it all together. And here it's got it like this, but it's got all the characters that you need to make Israel, and it's got a little guy on the top, and it's bound. So this I'm not sure what the age of this one is. It's pretty old too, maybe even 1400, I think. Sorry that I didn't get up on that, but. And it's broken off, and they kind of extended it here to figure it out. But it says Israel also, but it's not in the same order. The letters aren't really in the same order unless you kind of go like from the bottom up, it looks like to me. So sometimes the orders are all different. Here's this on that stele again. This is the same thing, and this is the way it's written. And you can see it starts over on the right, and it works this way. And it's got, this is Israel, and this is the people. And then further over to the left would be is laid waste, and its seed is no more. So you notice that it's not always easy to read unless the knowledge of the rules for reading is known. Okay, and characters can be read from different directions. Characters can be both a meaning and or a sound. And without spaces, punctuation, direction, and other rules, it is difficult to read, even if one knows the language and has some rules. So you kind of notice that. But that's for Egyptian anyway. We know that this writing here is actually phonetic. But it still has a lot of meaning in the characters, and which is, some people are really concerned about people getting too much meaning out of the characters rather than just taking it for the word sounds. And, they get all uptight about that, that you shouldn't be doing that. I know that a fellow named, what was his name? John Custic, I think. Yeah, John Custic. Anyway, he's a Dutchman, and he does that all the time. He can take a word like bereshit, and which is the very first word of the Bible in Hebrew, and you can take the letters and you can actually develop the gospel story out of that, out of the word bereshit. So, and it's quite a bit of fun, I think, and I don't think we should get all, crazy about, we can't do that, you can't do that, it's all terrible, blah, 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 like getting all crazy, worried about it. It's not going to work for all words, of course, and it's just a fun thing to do, I think, and maybe it was on there on purpose, so I don't think we should get too concerned about people doing that. And there's lots of number things too, because each letter of the alphabet has a number, like this 1, 2, 3, and then Yod, which is this one here, is the 10th letter, and it is, like 10 fingers, and it's the letter 10, and that's how they use numbering systems in the Bible. And then you got, in the next one, Kaf is 20, and Lamed is 30, and Mem is 40, and Nun is 50, and then what's that? Oh, Samak is Samak is 60. Ayin is, which is an I, which is kind of fun, is 70, I guess, and then Pei would be 80, and then Zedek would be 90, and Kuf would be 100, and then you go, Resh is 200, and then Shen is 300, and then Tav would be 400, I think, and don't quote me on that. And that's where you get all these different numbers for the letters of the alphabet. Well, here he's got it here. He's got some different things going on. Anyway, it's hard to see some of the numbers, but so they have to use the alphabet for a number system, and they also use it for a bit of meaning. Just the letters do have meanings. Some people are really worried that people are seeing the meanings, and well, they do really, even when they put it. And from the original, they had meanings, and they continue to have meanings, and then but they also have sound to them. So taken together, you have a sound, and the word and the language of Hebrew, let's say, if it was Hebrew, I think it was before these letters were assigned. But and here we have a thing here which shows these letters assigned. See, here's Hey, and that is the 5th letter of the alphabet. It's kind of like an E. If you take the head off and the tail off, it's your 5th letter of the alphabet, E. And it's E in our language, but it's Hey, and it means praise or touchdown or like, look what happened here, we won, or whatever. It's a reveal, or it can mean that. So it's a very cool letter. And this one here is like waves in the water. So it's mem. It can be in ocean, yamim. It's the ocean and water. Anyway, so they have. I think you really lose something if you try. Oh, they don't have any meanings. Each letter, they don't have any meanings except the sound. I think you really lose something in the language when you do that. I think it's something you should, like, if you take Al for God, it's Aleph and a Lamed, and Aleph, it has that meaning of, oxen, strong, strength, and which are strong. The oxen are strong. And then you have Lamed is like a shepherd's staff, and here it has teach, but the mold. Anyway, but it's like a shepherd's staff, and so you have the strong shepherd, which God is a strong shepherd. I just love that. It's very nice. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that it's the strong shepherd for Al as God. I think it's quite a bit of fun, and I think it really adds to it, actually. And I don't think people should say you can't do that. Some people say don't do that, it's really bad. Oh, anyway, that's just my take on it. But okay, that's pretty much it there. So I hope you enjoyed this. This is just a very beginning, 1800. We have some letters that are developed from the Egyptians' hieroglyphs, and you can see they have that here. This actually says something, and here's this big thing. It says some stuff. And then somebody, who's that person? We're going to find out, possibly. Might be a person. Anyway, they created these characters here when they were at different places. They put them here on the walls and in some caves, and they got these letters here. So and these are the ones they read from the 1800s BC. So this is way before Phoenicians. Anyway, just thought I'd share with that, and I hope you enjoyed it. I know, if we didn't have the phonetic language, we would not have our computers. We wouldn't have science. We wouldn't have history. Like, it would be just so, we'd have history, but it would be just so slow. We'd still be back, running around with spears and arrows, I think. Anyway, I just thought I'd share with that, and hope you enjoyed it.